Okay, I said that I wasn't gonna have any boxes coming before G-Fest, but couldn't say no to this. So, here we are. Godzilla 1967, the 25 centimeter Ric Boy edition. Thank you very much from my friend Philip Frazier, good buddy of mine on the Facebook collectors group of X Plus, and gave me a very, very fair deal for these figures. And now let's talk about it. Let's get Minya out of the way first. So, looking at Minya, he's in a very stationary pose. Now, you can have some articulation with the arms moving up and down. It's a good range. But, I like the left arm up, the right hand down. So, looking good. The dorsal plates, his little baby dorsal plates in the back, looking good. Very solid Minya figure, okay? And I love how he looks like he's half asleep as well. One thing I really like is the eyes. The eyes match the daddy. So, enough with Minya. Let's move on to Godzilla 1967. One of my favorite Godzillas. From the film Son of Godzilla, I remember watching this movie as a lad. One of the first Godzilla films I saw, the first one I saw was Godzilla 1985. I also saw Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. And also I remember watching Son of Godzilla. One of my favorites. Yes, I am not ashamed to say one of my favorites. Always will be one of my favorites. Is it a perfect film? No. Very few films are. But this one I really like. Love, actually. Let's move on to the face of Godzilla. I love the fatherly look that Godzilla has in this. It gave him real. It's just something you have to really look at. A very parental look. He kind of looks like Minya a little bit. I mean, Minya does need a little work with the face, looking a little more like Godzilla. But, you can say, like, oh, they're from the same family, or he's not done growing yet, or whatever. So looking at the face, he has the same kind of eyes, painted on black with white in the center. Looking good, just like the suit does. Moving on to the teeth having individually sculpted tooth, looking awesome. I love the way how the skin is on the face and on the rest of the body, that tree bark skin, kind of gray, looking awesome. Alright, moving on to the chest. Arms are upward like he's breathing fire or roaring down at a Kamacuras or a manga. Or he's looking down at Minya, looking awesome. Now, moving on to the waist and the legs. Now, looking very baggy, almost kind of like garbage bag waist. And he is a large suit. It was a large suit. And can't even imagine what it would be like having to wear one of these suits. But this one was especially bigger in this film. But I really do enjoy the way it looked, the way how it was shot, the way how he looked in the film. I think it looks awesome. Alright, let's move on. Moving on to the legs. They're kind of thin, but also thick. They almost look like Heisei legs. Almost like look at part of 84's legs. It's the way how he is. Moving on to the feet. Got that three-toe scheme. Looking awesome. I love the way how the paint, it's like the skin goes into the nail. It goes into the tip of the nail. Just looking awesome. I do prefer the four toes, but three toes is cool. Moving on to the tail. The tail is nice and thin and it rests on the ground. However, it curls up and goes off to his left. Looking awesome. The only thing I can see that may be a little problem, if I ever did get this figure, is this one dorsal plate on the tip of the tail that goes into this lower dorsal plate. That could have caused a problem, but Philip, you did a great job putting it together, and I don't have to worry about that part. So, yeah. Okay. Last and not least, let's look at the dorsal plates. Now, a lot of people don't like the dorsal plates on the 67, and they are jarring, especially when you look at other Godzillas like, your 72 or your 62 or your 64. Those all look great, but I think these dorsal plates are actually very reminiscent of the 54 Godzilla as well. It's kind of a blend of all these different types of early age Showa Godzillas. Looking awesome, giving him his own individual look, his own unique look, so you can always point him out amongst other Godzillas. My only sadness is that they didn't use this Godzilla anymore in the films. The only time that we ever saw him again was in the film Godzilla's Revenge, but it was only stock footage. I would have loved it if they used the Son of Godzilla suit in that film against Gabra, which we're going to bring down in a few seconds to take a look at size comparisons. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the Destroy All Monsters Godzilla, okay? And when he retired in the 72 film, Godzilla vs. Gigan, I love that suit, but I always am favored to the 67. Something about the 67 that always makes me, just in love with it. It just looks great. The way how he leans back and he roars, just that huge upper body that he has, just looking awesome. Yeah, the face is a little bit of puggy, but with this figure, they actually, extend out the mouth. And actually, at some angles, when you're holding it, it actually looks like he's walking down the forest as he's walking towards the final battle of the film. It's looking awesome. Love this figure. I'm so glad I finally got it. So, let's do our size comparison. We're going to bring down Gabra and the other Minya that I have. So, you look at both of the Minyas. Now, the one from Godzilla's Revenge, along with Gabra, is a little taller and the skin is a little darker, showing that it's maturing in age, where the smaller Minya from Son of Godzilla is a little more flesh color and kind of gray, looking more like a newborn, even though he has grown a little bit in the film, but that's from being around Godzilla so much. So they're both very unique figures, and both looking very unique to have as well. And also a way to see that is when you look at how the dorsal plates on both of them are pronounced. On the older Minya, there are more dorsal plates and they stick up just a little higher, where the younger Minya, the dorsal plates aren't as pronounced and higher. Now, the detail looks great on both of them. However, you can see that the older Minya has a little more going for it, but he is always looking up, the older Minya, always looking up at an attacking Gabra, where the younger Minya is more at an idle stance. It could be, interacting with Godzilla or just walking around the forest. So, there's benefits to having both Minya figures. That's pretty much what I'm saying. So, let's look at Godzilla 67 compared to Gabra. Now, Gabra is supposed to be a little taller than Godzilla in the film. Okay, but as far as the suits are, if they're on the Toho showroom and if they're being shown off, that's how tall they would be. The 67 suit was really tall and really wide as well. So it actually could hold up in a showroom against Gabra, where other Godzilla suits were actually a little smaller than Gabra's suit. This 67 was a lot taller. So both looking great next to each other. I would like to have a 25 centimeter 72 Godzilla to go with this, but this looks pretty good. And actually, there was a promotional picture in this monster magazine I had from a kid where they actually showed the 67 Godzilla with Gabra, which is really cool. And both look great together. So that's the size comparison just wanted to do. So, in closing, what do I think about these figures? I love them. I do not regret having these at all. I am so glad I was patient to get these figures. And, will I be getting Kumanga to go along with these? No. Okay. There's a scene from John Carpenter's The Thing that kind of signifies how I feel about Kumanga. That's how I feel about Kumanga. So, in closing, I am very glad I got this. Thank you very much, Philip Frazier, for selling these to me at the price that you did. I am very thankful. Good luck with your future and all the figures that you want to get in the future. You already have a magnificent collection, but it could always grow as mine is growing as well. Other than that, what else is there really to say about this Godzilla 67 except that I'm very glad I have it. It's one of my favorite Godzillas from the Showa series. In fact, it's one of my top 10 favorite Godzilla looks throughout all of the Godzilla films. Now, does it hold up against future films? Probably not. I wouldn't have liked to see this Godzilla versus, say, Hedra, or see this Godzilla against Gigan. I don't think it would have held up there. But this Godzilla holds up, in my opinion, from Son of Godzilla, and probably could have done some minor battle sequences, like maybe with a Sea Monster, with Mothra. I don't know how he'd hold up with Ghidorah, or Ghidra, because I think this one's a little too tall for Ghidra, but that's just me rambling now. Other than that, this is GoJay51 saying goodnight. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you all at G-Fest. I'm going to have a bunch of videos for G-Fest, from G-Fest, also my haul videos as well. And we'll see where the future takes us after that. Till next time, see y'all later.